Hi, everybody. What I wanted to do for the new year is to do a big toy room tour. So you're going to see almost my entire collection of action figures in this video. It may take a little while depending on how long I talk about each kind of area. And this is actually going to be part one because I have too much stuff, and I actually have to do a part two video to show you the rest of my collection. So for part one, we're going to do the main toy room, and you'll probably see why I have to use other space in the house for my collection. So my main collecting of toys began in my adult years, at least, with DC Universe Classics. So I actually have a DC poster on the door of the toy room because the toy room is just a bedroom in my house. And then I've got at the very, very top on push pins, I've got some DC superheroes figures, which predate the DC Universe Classics figures. So I have a lot of them in the packaging. Mostly my favorite characters. So my number one favorite character is Superman. So Superman and some of his, enemies and various other Superman-related figures. And then Martian Manhunter, Firestorm are some of my other top favorite characters. So you can see those. And then coming to the very first bookshelf, we have the Justice League, or the Justice League as I like to consider them, I guess we could say. So if I could focus here, which this is actually really high up, so I can't quite get my hand behind them, but you can see these are just the DC Universe Classics, the main 7 Justice League, and then all the other supporting characters in the Justice League, Firestorm, Wally West Flash, Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern, Black Canary, Green Arrow, Red Tornado, Zatanna. You can see the Hawk Girl has a hard time standing up, so she's actually leaning against the back, and then Hawkman is back there with her. Got Vixen, which is actually the DC Multiverse figure, but thank goodness it fits in scale with these figures, because obviously you need Vixen to complete, the Justice League. Then I have my Justice Society, so the classic Justice Society, or JSA characters, and then I've got a bunch of custom Infinity Inc. figures back there with Obsidian and Atom Smasher. So you could see I really, really like the Justice Society, the classic Golden Age heroes. They're some of my favorite characters as well. So yeah, love this shelf. And just the bright colors. I mean, this line of figures, I know it's a little dated. I know that, there were some issues with the line start to finish, but I love these figures. I don't ever want to get rid of them. Then we have my Superman shelf, so all the different Superman characters. The Return of Superman's kind of in the middle. Doomsday is in the back. Doomsday is the very last DC Classics figure we got. There was a whole big drama about that we don't need to get into. And then we've got, a couple different versions of Lex Luthor. We've got Superman Red and Blue. We've got a couple different versions of Bizarro. I have a custom Metallo figure that I made there. So yeah, all the Superman characters. Then we have the Green Lantern characters next. So I love this because just the rainbow of colors. So the Red Lanterns, Sinestro Corps, Larfleeze, some Green Lantern figures. I've got some custom figures, the Blue Lanterns, and then the Build-A-Figure Necron is back there, along with some Black Lanterns. The Martian Manhunter and Blue Beetle are actually DC Direct figures, but they fit in good enough with the Black Lanterns. And then the bottom shelf is the villains. So all the different villains. We've got a lot of the Build-A-Figures in the back. Solomon Grundy and Ultra Humanite and Grodd. And then some custom figures there in the front. I made that Dr. Destiny and the Psycho Pirate there. So yeah, just like the Justice League villains, some of my favorite villains are there. Going back up, we have all the new gods. So Metron in his chair and Darkseid. We've got more mint on card figures, the Teen Titans figures there. So we've got the Nightwing, Superboy, Raven, Beast Boy, and Red Arrow are up there. So unfortunately the light ray is getting that yellowing effect that a lot of white painted figures get, or white, I guess it's the white plastic. But yeah, so he has gotten quite yellow there on the torso. It's a shame because I really like that figure. Then we have basically our updated superpowers figures. So the Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman came later on in the line. It was actually, I guess, the final wave came with the Build-A-Figure Calabac there. And then I've just kind of put all the other figures that are based on superpowers figures. So Joker and Penguin superpowers there, the Parademon, Golden Pharaoh back there, Robin, Lex Luthor, Brainiac. So those are just the DC Classics figures or Multiverse figures or whatever that fit in with the superpowers line. And then I've got my Teen Titans shelf. There's a little bit of a mixture of some different versions of the Titans here. So that's actually a custom Bart Allen Kid Flash figure that I made back there. Some of those parts are glued together, so he's pretty fragile. Then we've got Raven, Starfire, and Cyborg fighting the Trigon Build-A-Figure. And then that's actually the Battle Lion from the Masters of the Universe Classics line. And that's my stand-in for Beast Boy, because, of course, I showed you already, my Beast Boy is Mint and Package up there. And then we've got Superboy and Wonder Girl. I almost said Supergirl. Superboy and Wonder Girl fighting Superboy Prime there. So I like this. It's just kind of like a mixture of kind of classic Titans, newer Titans. So it's a fun shelf. Then we've got my Batman shelf. So the Clayface and Killer Croc Build-A-Figures. The Man-Bat is a DC Direct figure that I just kind of stuck there with all these. And then we've got Alfred. We've got some villains there in the back, and then just the classic, the Batman, Nightwing, and Batgirl, and then Jason Todd and Damian are there as well. So yeah, just Batman characters in general. Then this is like the miscellaneous shelf, so just different characters. So the members of the Outsiders there on the left, and then the Captain Marvel or Shazam family, and then just a bunch of different Teen Titans there. So we've got the newer Multiverse, Beast Boy, Nightwing, Wally West, and then and the Starfire, and then those are actually custom Donna Troy and Tempest or Aqualad. I've got a couple. I've actually got 2 custom Tempest figures there. And then we've just got, Hook Hand Aquaman, Phantom Stranger, a couple custom Martians there. So I've got a green Martian and a white Martian there. Animal Man, Adam Strange. So yeah, just kind of the everybody else shelf is right there. And then this is the New 52 shelf. So I wasn't a huge fan of the New 52 comics, but of course, since I am such a crazy action figure collector, I had to go ahead and, collect them anyway. So yeah, I mean, the Superman, the Justice League there just looks pretty cool. And then the exclusive Shazam, I think, is really neat looking. And then, of course, we've got the New 52 version of Doomsday, Build-A-Figure back there. And then a couple DC Direct, Superboy and Bizarro back there, kind of filling out the back. Then up here, besides the Dark Side, because that Dark Side is just so huge, I didn't have anywhere else to put him. So that is the DC Direct Deluxe Dark Side. They may have been DC Collectibles by then. But yeah, this is actually based off of the Batman, the Brave and the Bold cartoon, which was a really, really great cartoon. So if you have not seen Batman, the Brave and the Bold, I would highly, highly recommend it. So these are all the main characters that were in that cartoon. So that's the version of Batman. And then Firestorm, Buona Beast, Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, they were all in it a lot. And then I've got Guy Gardner and Fire and Ice back there as well. So yeah, I thought this would be neat. This is a neat collection of characters that all have one thing in common. They were main part of that cartoon. Then we've got the movie universe, or the movie figures here. So this is actually a bootleg Superman figure that I got from, I guess, somewhere on eBay in China. And then that's the DC Icons Wonder Woman, which, she has kind of a weird scale to her, but she actually works out pretty good with these other movie figures. There's the Build-A-Figure Steppenwolf. We've got some other figures, movie figures there in the back, just kind of some random kind of figures in the back. And then the Aquaman movie figures there, which these I really, really like. I think these are actually some really fantastic figures that they put out. The paintwork on Aquaman and Ocean Master are really incredible. I mean, the Ocean Master figure is just beautiful. So yeah, really, really like those figures. This one is kind of like, it started out as a Young Justice animated shelf, and then it just kind of went crazy because I just am running out of room. So we've got the Robin, Batman, Aqualad, and Kid Flash. Those are from the Young Justice cartoon line of figures. And then in the back, I have Kid Flash and Red Arrow Mitten Package. And then the Superboy is a custom Connor Kent Superboy figure that I made. And then the Superman figure is from the Public Enemies line, so it has a more animated kind of look to it. And then the little Beast Boy is back there. That's from the Superhero Girls line of toys. And then I've got my mint in card Martian Manhunter, and then my signature collection Atrocitus is back there, you can see him, and then Larfleeze and Saint Walker. I just love the War of Light storyline and the Green Lantern, and then Blackest Night, Brightest Day. I love those comic stories. I've read them over and over again. So yeah, so I got 2, of course, of those 3 guys there. And then again, the Martian Manhunter's there, his statue, and then the I guess it's the 3 3/4 inch scale Young Justice figures. So yeah, just kind of I'm just calling this my other animated shelf. And then this is the TV show shelf here. So we've got Supergirl, the Flash, Green Arrow, Firestorm, the Ray. We've got the Flash from the 90s show mint on card back there. We've got the King Shark Build-A-Figure. And then what I did, since the TV Martian Manhunter figure from Mattel was so small, I actually turned that into a Miss Martian figure, and then the Martian Manhunter figure is actually the DC Collectibles figure. So I think scale-wise that fits a little better, because Martian Manhunter should be, taller than everybody else. Going down here, we've got my Kingdom Come and my alternate futures type shelf. So the Alan Scott Green Lantern from Kingdom Come, that is a custom that took a lot of work and paint and glue, and yeah, it was a lot of work. And then we've got the DC Direct Hawkman, the Captain Marvel. I painted some gold on him, and then of course the Multiverse Kingdom Come Superman, which I was so glad we got that figure. And then we got Batman Beyond, as well as the Superman from Batman Beyond. That's another custom. And then we've got the Dark Knight Returns set of figures from Mattel. So yeah, this is the possible futures Elseworlds kind of shelf. And then we have DC Direct, Justice League, and other figures based off of the artwork of Ed McGuinness, which is just some of my favorite artwork from the comic book. So it took me a while to collect all these because they're from different lines. Some of them are much older, some of them are a little newer. Yeah, so some of these are super old, some of these are not so old. It did take me quite a while to get down the Bat Zorro and the Superman Red and Blue, because I wanted to get them for a decent price. But yeah, I think these just look so good together now that they're all complete. I think the only one I'm missing, I think they made a John Stewart Green Lantern figure, which, if I see that anywhere at a good price, I'll definitely be picking that up. And I think that's it. I think I have all the other ones. Let me know in the comments if I missed anybody, because I definitely want to have this complete set for sure. Okay, going back up here, we have more mint on card figures. So the newer Mattel, well, not new at this point, but they were new when they came out, the other Mattel DC Classics figures. Then we've got the ones that came with the Build-A-Figure Calabac. I just left these mint on card because I don't really need a gold Superman and a weird Riddler. And, Mr. Mxyzptlk is so tiny that, he was expensive, and I didn't really want to take him out of there, and I didn't want to buy 2. Then we've got the Man of Steel figures, mint on card. Those kind of wrap around the corner here. So you can see I got all the different Superman variants and the General Zods and all that. Then we come down to this shelf, which is kind of a fun shelf. So I have the Build-A-Figure Anti-Monitor, which I think was from Wave... Oh, I can't remember now. I want to say it was Wave 17, but that seems wrong for some reason. But this is the DC Classics Anti-Monitor Build-A-Figure with the DC Universe 3 3/4 inch figures, because obviously the Anti-Monitor should be way, way bigger than even this is, but I think it works pretty well. And then the Raven and Martian Manhunter are impossible to stand up, so I figured, okay, they can just be laying down. They've been injured by Anti-Monitor. And yeah, this works. I think it's kind of cool looking, a little different. And then we've got my 3 different versions of the Crime Syndicate. Crime Syndicate is just another, characters group that I really, really think is cool. Evil versions of the Justice League. How can that not be super cool? So we've got the the classic or Silver Age version, however you want to do it. So the Owlman and the Superwoman are custom figures. The Ultraman came in a 2-pack, and then the Power Ring and Johnny Quick came in a 5-pack. And then down here is the more modern Crime Syndicate. So again, the Owlman, Ultraman, and Superwoman came from the same 5-pack that those two. Why they did 3 modern and 2 classic, I don't know. But that was the 5-pack. And then the Power Ring and the Johnny Quick are custom figures. And then we've got the DC Collectibles, DC Villains, New 52 Crime Syndicate figures. And yeah, they look really, really cool too. Some of these figures had some issues with the paint. It kind of gets like this weird white kind of stuff on it. You can kind of see it a little bit on the capes of Ultraman and Owlman. Still really, really awesome figures though. Then we've got the Flash villains, just because, again, I didn't have room on the villain shelf. And yeah, so there they are. And then the Heatwave is a custom figure. And then all the way at the bottom is the Earth 2, New 52 Earth 2, I guess you could say. So the Superman Val Zod is a custom. And then we've got the Earth 2 Green Lantern, Flash, and Batman. And then we've got the Parademon and Orion down there as well. Coming back up, we just got some more, you know, figures mint on card there. The Batman corner, as I call it. So this is the Batman corner with all the different Batman, you know, the Batarang and the different replicas, the different Batmobiles that I have. You know, I also have this Batmobile and then this Batwing. There's just nowhere to put this thing. It is huge. It has very, very sharp edges, so it just kind of stays right there on the floor. Back there, we've got just some random kind of figures from a long time ago. Some maybe McDonald's figures, some keychains. Then we've got the new Guardian. So this is a comic book from way back when a member of each color core, looks like Star Sapphire fell again. But the Bleeze is a custom, and then, you know, Kyle Rayner, Arkillo, Build-A-Figure, and the Saint Walker is the old DC Direct. Then we've got my Doomsday corner. So all the different figures of Doomsday. Let me know in the comments if I'm missing any Doomsdays. Of course, with the exception of the DC Classics, because they're on a different shelf. But yeah, there's the DC Classic Doomsday Mitten Package. There's the Containment Suit Doomsday. And all those different Doomsdays. Then we've got some more, I guess at this point it was called DC Comics Unlimited and Batman Unlimited. More Mattel figures as the DC Classics was coming to an end. This shelf is my McFarlane DC Multiverse and my Spin Master DC. So all the new DC stuff that's still currently in stores. If you've watched some of my other videos, you've already seen the custom Ultraman, the custom Bizarro, the custom Kingdom Come Superman. So my customs are there, as well as all the other figures of the multiverse that I have. And I'm going to be in trouble because there is not a lot of room here, and I'm definitely getting the Dark Knight Returns multiverse figures. The other ones we'll just have to wait and see. So we've got my older DC Direct figures there. The big, tall Kyle Rayner is back there. You guys can tell I really like Kyle Rayner and the lantern, different colored lanterns. Dr. Fate and Firestorm once again. Captain Marvel's hiding back there. Darkseid. And then a whole bunch of Martian Manhunter and Aquaman figures. And then there's my small collection of vintage original Superpowers figures. I love these figures. I mean, Superpowers, I mean, I was, what, 2 or 3 when the Superpowers line came out? So, yeah, big time fan of those, because those are some of the first toys I ever played with as a kid. My DC Legos, they're back there, way back there, but they're there. Got some just little random Batman. I just thought the Man-Bat looked cool. Of course, I love Nightwing, so I just got those. And then this is my Superman shelf. So like I said, Superman is my favorite character, and I have a whole bunch of Superman toys. So there's all my different Superman figures, a lot of them mint on card. I've got, you know, Superpowers, DC Classics. I've got the deluxe figures from DC Direct, all kinds of Superman figures there. So I can get a little closer if you want to see more. There's Man of Steel. No, sorry, that's Batman vs. Superman. There's the Man of Steel 2-pack. The Christopher Reeve NECA figure. Spin Master, the Cyborg Superman figure, the Beast Kingdom Superman, which is really cool there. Yep, and then a whole bunch of loose Superman figures. So DC Direct, Mattel, I've got little guys all over the place. There's my custom Crypto I'm very proud of there. Superboy from the Legion of Superheroes pack. Some Henry Cavill Superman figures. Yep, and then my DC Icons figures. So I've got the Doomsday Superman set, of course. The Dark Side is back there. And then these are really, really cool. I'm really hoping that somehow these can kind of sort of come out again, because I would love to have just some more characters in this scale, in this style. They're just really well articulated, and the paint looks good, and I would love to see figures more like this at the $20 price point instead of the DC Multiverse figures that we're getting. But, you know, what can you do? Alright, so that's it for all the... Oh, nope, I lied. There's one more DC shelf. So here's the DC Imaginext figures. So again, front and center, once again, my usual favorites: Martian Manhunter, Superboy, Firestorm, Dr. Fate, there's Black Adam, Lex Luthor, Mongols back there. I have the Hall of Doom and the Fortress of Solitude sets. I've got my custom Kyle Rayner figure that I made. So yeah, I just, you know, more DC the merrier as far as I'm concerned. I've got some Imaginext mint on card there. Then we've got Thundercats. So these are vintage Thundercats figures. There's some custom figures back there. The vintage bad guys are there. The loyal subjects, the minifigures. So yeah, those guys are all there. Then we've got the Super 7, well, Mattel and then Super 7 Thundercats figures. So Slythe and Jacqueline, they look really, really great together. Can't wait to have Monkey in. Hopefully really soon we'll get Monkey in. And then I'm dying to have Tigra. Tigra is my favorite Thundercat. And yeah, I would just love it if I had Tigra and Chitara. Hopefully soon. Hopefully, you know, I was hoping to have them both by the end of the year. That didn't happen, so we'll see. So yeah, just two little Thundercat shelves just waiting to be filled out with more and more figures. So hopefully very soon. Then we've got, these are Super Sentai Q-Ranger Zords, and I've got the Morpher. The Morpher is called the Seiza Blaster. So these are actually all Japanese import toys, because Q-Ranger was never made into a Power Ranger season. But, you know, Q-Ranger, if you can find it somewhere and watch it, it was an amazing Sentai season. I mean, it was so, so good. I mean, out in space and battling the bad guys, and there were so many different color Rangers and all these different Zord combinations, and then the little, you know, things they would use to change into the Super Sentai or the Power Rangers. They're called Qtama, and I've got a bunch of they're just really, really cool little toys, and the Seiza Blaster is just really fun to kind of play with. So yeah, so those are the Q-Ranger toys, and then down here, this is like miscellaneous Power Ranger stuff. There is some Japanese imports here, so there's Zords back there. Those are the Dino Fury Zords, but it's the Rio Soldier is the Super Sentai. So we've got some basically Dino Fury stuff, the Dino Fury Morpher, and then just some of my favorite kind of random Power Rangers. So the Green Ninja Storm Samurai Ranger, the Green Mystic Force Ranger, the Lunar Wolf Ranger, the Jungle Fury Wolf Ranger. Yeah, and then some of the Ranger keys. And then Dino Charge is one of my absolute favorite seasons of Power Rangers. So you can see here I've got all the Dino Charge Zords. I've got the exclusive Terra Charge Megazord there in the package. Those are the Japanese versions of the Gold Rangers weapons. I made a custom Riley and a custom Chase civilian figures there. Yeah, Dino Charge is awesome. Make sure you watch Dino Charge if you can find it, because again, they're not on any Netflix or anything anymore, but that's another story. Okay, we've got some Masters of the Universe here. A lot of my Masters of the Universe toys will be in my part 2 video, which will be coming later on, probably tomorrow. So yeah, I've got some of the Origins figures kind of in the packaging in protectors. I've got the Duplicat 2-pack, the the exclusive Scareglow, the exclusive 2-packs there. Panther, the Flock Panther is hiding in the back. And then we've got a couple of the Masterverse. I got Masterverse Mossman, Masterverse Skeletor without his cape and with a much better head, if I do say so myself. There's my vintage Masters of the Universe figures. Only have a few, just my favorites. You know, Merman and Stinkor are definitely my favorite characters. I also like Skeletor. I really need to get a vintage Skeletor one of these days, but it has to be in really, really good shape. And then we've got my Masters of the Universe Classics collection. I don't have a lot, but they're there. I've got, you know, again, my favorites. Merman, Stinkor, Skeletor. Mossman is over there with Cyclone. Roboto is back there. That dragon figure, I had no idea who this guy was, the Drago Man, but oh my gosh, what a cool figure. He is so, so awesome. Then I've got the big Griffin Beast there, and then just a bunch of little guys. So like I said, I will show you the rest of my He-Man and the Masters of the Universe collection. That will come in the part 2 video that I'll post probably tomorrow or the next day. Then we've got some more DC in the back, mint and package DC along the wall here. All my DC Direct mint and package figures. And then we've got the Power Ranger stuff. So here's my Green Ranger shelf. I've got the, I think that's the Legacy helmet, the Lightning Collection Dragon Dagger. I think that's an Imaginext Dragon Sword. And a bunch of little guys. Then we've got my Lightning Collection villains. So you can see all the different bad guys. I painted that Goldar to look a little more gold. More like the Season 1 Goldar. And you can see the Psycho Rangers, the Cogs, King Sphinx in the back. And then my Lightning Collection Rangers. So we're very, very close to finishing Zeo. Hopefully within the month, Zeo will be finished. In Space is finished. So they just look great together. So good. And then we're working on Dino Charge. So we've got, what, almost half, I guess. I think there were 10, 12. So yeah, and then Dino Thunder is back there. A couple other guys. Yep. So that's the Power Rangers Lightning Collection figures. More are coming very soon. We've got the Legacy Zords from, I guess, Season 2, 3. So we've got some White Ranger stuff. Saba there in the back. And we've got the Legacy Megazord, Legacy Dragon Zord, Giant Imaginext Green Ranger. We've got all kinds of Green Rangers here. You can see I really, really like Green Ranger. Definitely my favorite Power Ranger of all time there. Then we've got some Imaginext stuff. We've got our Hasbro Zeo Megazord and Dino Megazord. Yeah, so just some random guys. That Red Dragon Imaginext is so cool, and he's so huge. And let me just back up here so you can just see the whole Power Ranger collection. And then we've got more Power Ranger stuff here. Just more, well, this is my Lord Zedd and Goldar shelf. So we've got the statue and then a bunch of smaller guys, a couple of the vintage figures. Got some other Power Ranger mint and package, some more DC mint and package on that wall. Then we've got our vintage Power Ranger villains. There they are, the, I guess, what, 4 or 5 inch scale, and then the taller ones. The Legacy Power Rangers are way back there, if you can see them. I got the Zeo, the Mighty Morphin, Dino Thunder, and then the 3 Megazords back there as well. So those are all the Legacy Ranger, like 7 or 8 inch scale. Then we have my Lord Zedd throne room that I built from some plywood and painted it, and yeah, this was a lot of work. But yeah, so you can see I have the Lord Zedd. Lord Zedd right now is sitting on his throne with Goldar kind of, you know, being Goldar, probably begging him to not destroy him or something. Then we've got the Lord Zedd putties, Tango Warriors, the monsters. I got Eye Guy and Pudgy Pig are amazing, super, super awesome. And then Rita is just kind of at the balcony, kind of plotting what she's going to do next to the Power Rangers. So I move these guys around every so often, you know, just to kind of have some fun with them. But yeah, there they are. And then on the other side of my little diorama is the command center. So, like I said, this took quite some time to put together. But yeah, so it's divided by a piece of plywood. So here's the command center. We've got the Mighty Morphin Rangers right there in the front, kind of posed. And then we've got my civilian custom Rangers that I made. I've got a video about these if you want to know how I made them and what I used and how I did it. You can check out that video. It's probably the video that has the most likes. So most of these are like Marvel Legends bodies that I painted, and then of course the heads came with the figures. Alpha and Zordon are there. And then there's my kind of season 2, season 3 kind of look. So I have metallic red, and then I customized the Billy head, took off the glasses, painted the hair, and then of course the White Ranger is back there with them. And then I have Ninjor waiting for the Ninja Rangers. He's waiting and waiting for those Ninja Rangers to show up. Back over here, we've got the Legacy Power Sword. The helmets are down here. The Blade Blaster's down there, so those are all Legacy. I think the White Ranger helmet's actually Lightning Collection. Then the Gold Power Staff, Legacy from the Gold Ranger. Lots of mint and package figures on this wall. Most of them are DC Direct. Again, you're going to see a lot of Superman, a lot of Green Lantern, a lot of Martian Manhunter, because that's who I love and that's who I collect. Got some more Power Rangers. We've got the deluxe Superman figures. The deluxe Thundercats are back there. Just some other random figures from all the different lines I collect are all down there behind the Command Center diorama. Below here is mint on card 6th Ranger figures. So what I've decided to do, because again, I'm a crazy toy collector, some of the 6 Rangers I'm getting 2 of, like the ones I really like. And then the other 6 Rangers from seasons that I'm just not a huge fan of or I don't know a lot about, I just get them mint on card. So some of these I have 2 of, and some of them it's just the one mint on card figure. Then we've got the Marvel corner. So I've got all my Marvel Legends figures and other various Marvel figures. So we've got my X-Men collection there. You can see I mostly like just the classic X-Men, like the versions from the 90s cartoon, because that's, of course, what I grew up with. I didn't really read the Marvel comics. I don't read the Marvel comics the way I do the DC comics. So really, the stuff I know about Marvel is just stuff that I've read online or stuff from cartoons and movies. There's my Spider-Man villains shelf. So, Mysterio. I love the Lizard. Such a cool figure. I want another one of those, a bigger one. Then we've got our good guys. So Avengers and, Captain America, Iron Man. There's Hercules, Falcon's back there, Doctor Strange. So yeah, just like all the good guys that I have. And then all the bad guys. I really do love the Marvel bad guys more, I have to admit. The Armadillo, Ursa Major figures are amazing. I like the villains who want to take over the whole universe. So we've got Thanos and Kang and Ultron, Doctor Doom, Red Skull. So yeah, these are all just the bad guys. And then just some other Marvel figures. I really like the X-Men and Captain America and Vision. So those are the ones I collect. Got some more there. Random corner there, we've got a very old Superman collectible figure, the Turbo Man. The Return of the Jedi Emperor's Throne Room exclusive. We've got the, what do they call that? The Love Triangle 3-pack. Yep, so some random figures there. Then we got a whole bunch of DC animated DC movie figures there. So those are all mint on card. Like the more basic figures, the Justice League Unlimited figures. Less articulation. And a lot cheaper, I might add. Then going across the top, we've got our New 52 DC Direct figures, some other figures there. And then going down, we've got some much, much older figures by, I think, Toy Biz and Hasbro. JLA, Superman the Animated Series. Those guys. We've got my Martian Manhunter apron from the World's Finest Collectibles box set. Then my little setup here, I just have like my super classic Superman and Batman setup. So we've got the big figs, we've got Mattel, we've got McFarlane, we've got Imaginext, the JLA figures. I just thought that this was a cool idea. You know, just like my favorite version of Superman, favorite version of Batman together. I'm going to call it my world's finest shelf. Then we have my Super 7 reaction figure shelf. So we've got some Universal Monsters, we've got Thundercats mint on card, we've got Power Rangers, we've got Masters of the Universe, we've got Ninja Turtles. These three are so cool. Love those guys. I just got the Dragon Zord literally yesterday. So there's the reaction figures that I have. They are expensive, but they are pretty cool. Then my favorite Marvel character is Magneto. So this is my Magneto shelf. So just all the different iterations of Magneto. Some of these figures are super old, some of them are much newer. Big figures, little figures, different versions of Magneto. So, yep, he's cool. Love Magneto. Very interesting character. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad, sometimes you just don't know. And then miscellaneous shelf. So we've got some custom Marvel Legends sized figures that I've made. Just, you know, other random figures that I don't know what to do with. Then we've got the Mortal Kombat figures from McFarlane. These are really cool figures. They do have a hard time standing up. And then my very small but mighty Star Wars collection here. So we've got a vintage Yoda, a vintage Darth Vader, vintage Chewbacca, other versions of Yoda. I love Yoda. I love Darth Vader. Boba Fett's back there. The Wampa's back there. So, yep. That is that. So just real quick, if you want to see, I can just kind of do like a pan across the room here. So here's one wall. That's where the door is, obviously. So you can see the door to the rest of my house. And then just kind of checking out how everything looks there. And then the big wall with all the mint on card figures, the Marvel figures, Power Rangers. So that's that wall there. So again, if you just wanted to get an overall look at everything, here you go. And then we've got all of that stuff there. And then, oh, I forgot to show you guys these. These are called pin mates, which are little wooden figurines, and they're really cool. I saw this Hall of Justice on Amazon, and then the Batmobile with the Batcave was on Entertainment Earth for super cheap, and then just random little cars that I put down there. But yeah, I love just super classic looking Hall of Justice from like Superpowers and Super Friends. Very fun little set there, very cute. And then, of course, the Batwing. And then I didn't show you guys my rug, my little area rug here with the DC Heroes. And then speaking of DC Heroes, there's... I can't even get far enough back to really show you everything, but there's the wall of DC Universe. So I hope you guys enjoyed this toy room tour. That's everything I have to show you in part 1. And like I said, part 2 will be coming soon, and you will see even more of my toy collection. So, if you liked this video, please let me know by liking, subscribing, and commenting. And have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching.